Well, this week we feature Tradewinds Capital, and Chris Lang joins us now. And Chris, we'll get into the business and professional side of things here in a moment, but I think it's important to get to know Chris, because I know when you're working with people, it's a lot of one-on-one time. Yeah. And so you're going to be handling something they trust deeply. So it's good to get to know you. And Birch Bay, I know Birch Bay Blaine holds a special place in your heart. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that in a second. Tell us a little bit about Chris and your background.
Okay. Well, I am originally from the South Sound area. I grew up in a small town called Shelton, just outside of Olympia. Originally, though, I was born in the Azores. My dad was in the Air Force, and we were stationed there. But we came back to the States in when I was around 4 or 2, and then we moved to Washington when I was 4. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's been home ever since, pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much. And so I moved up to Bellingham in 2000 to go to school, and I've been in Whatcom County ever since.
We've heard that story a lot. I came to Western Washington University and just stayed. And there's obvious reasons for that, right? And that's where you met your bride.
Yep. Freshman year, I met my wife in English 101 and, hit it off. And her family is from the area, Birch Bay, Blaine, been here a long time, and so we found jobs up here, and we stayed around, and it's just a perfect place to live and raise a family.
Yeah, set up roots, and there's a reason that we're standing on this ground in this location to have this discussion, Chris, and that's because there's some family roots on your wife's side here.
Yeah, her grandparents and great-grandparents owned this property at points in the late 50s and the 60s, maybe even to the 70s. I used to be a little par 3 golf course, and her grandpa had built a tavern and had the pool, and her great-grandparents ran the golf course and had some cabins.
What do you do for fun? We live in a playground, and I know you like to take advantage of it.
Well, it's a perfect spot because my family, we like to go out on our boat, spend time on the water, crabbing, fishing. We used to, not so much anymore, we'd go clamming, anything outdoorsy, right? Camping, I like to play golf, things like that, mushroom hunting,
And you'd mentioned you played this course before.
Yeah, a long time ago, probably 2001. I think we talked about how maybe it shut down in 2008, 2009, but yeah, I had a chance to play it, which was pretty cool.
Care to share your handicap?
My handicap right now, I'm a 4.6.
Okay. So my handicap is golf, period, right? You're in the financial business and financial planning business. It's obviously very important. We've seen our economy do some crazy things over the years. And obviously people's money is very important, and it's a very personal matter. What drew you to this industry?
Well, it started in high school, actually. A friend of mine, his dad was a teacher at my high school and taught a vocational investments class. I thought, well, this would be fun and, laid back, and it was a small class, and so I took it, and then just got hooked, and then I took it again. And so he created a part 2 so we could take it twice. So, but yeah, I just got hooked, learning all about financial markets and following macroeconomic trends and the news in general. And went to analyzing investments in companies and just took off from there. And then I went to Western and got my degree in bachelor's degree in finance.
A word you used a couple of times in the email conversation that we had is it's like solving a puzzle. You used the word puzzle a couple of times. Explain that.
Yeah. So you take all this information in, it's coming at you from all directions, right?
Right.
And you're supposed to put it together and make decisions and solve problems for people. That's a huge part of what being a financial advisor, investment analyst, that's what it's all about. And I just love solving, puzzles and games and everything like that. It just really energizes me. So I like to have those challenges.
Right.
I think a lot of people find it overwhelming, or maybe it's just not interesting or stressful. And so I like that I'm able to take all that in and enjoy it and take the burden off for other people. Getting started I talk to people all the time who that's the biggest hurdle, is just not even knowing where to start, right? So getting started, and I always advocate for getting started with a financial advisor before you really truly need them, because it's those like life events that come up. Parent dies, or God forbid a spouse dies, or you're retiring, or there's something that's happened that is now more complicated or more like out of your comfort zone than you want to deal with. But if you are starting with scratch or from scratch with someone, having to explain them your whole life story, it's, you're having to work through whatever issue it is you're going through, plus get them up to speed. So, we like to view these as our client relationships as sort of ongoing partnerships, really. So if I know you, I know your family, I know your story, and when something does happen, it's something I can more easily help you with and take the burden off of you while you're going through.
They say the only constant is change, right? It's a pretty common cliche, and I think that's been illustrated, really illustrated over the last 4 to 6 years, especially with things that have happened around the world. And everything just seems to be moving so much quicker. I'm talking like an old man now, Chris, but everything does seem to be moving so much quicker. And people, let's say, that maybe even have been around for a while may not be used to that pace of life and the constant change of things, and that includes their financial situation.
No, the pace that information comes at us, and the methods that it comes at us, and what do what can you trust, what can't you, all those kinds of things are make it even just everything more and more difficult to make your own decisions. Or there's a lot of people who like to do it themselves, and it can it can be done, but it's like a full-time job in a lot of ways with how much information is coming at you all the time.
Let's talk about Tradewinds Capital. You use the word independent here.
Yep.
Why is that a benefit?
Well, because we can decide how our investment process works. We have complete control over it. We're not beholden to anybody else, right? So we have our investment committee that works to develop all of our processes, and the other benefit is, we're fiduciaries, and we're always looking out for our client's best interest first. We always are going to put our client interest first, and that's important to us. It's a tight-knit team. We're almost like a family, and I've been at Tradewinds since last August, and it's felt like I've been there for 10 years, right? So it's a really well supportive environment. Our clients feel really well supported, and it's just a joy actually to work there. It's fantastic. That was going to be,
I wasn't going to put words in your mouth, but it does sound like you truly enjoy doing, not only working with Tradewinds, but you have a passion for what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's something my brain never turns off, and that's what I like to tell people. I'm always thinking about it. Like, my job never stops, and that's the thing about the puzzle, is like, it's one of those things. It's a puzzle that can't be solved necessarily. It's always changing, and you're always adapting, and so you're always working for somebody doing something, and it's kind of rewarding in that sense, where it's like a project that has an ending.
We talk about the process of getting started, and sometimes that's the most difficult part. What is the best way to get in touch with you and get started?
Well, you could come to our website, and you could call us. We have an office. You can just stop by, and our office is in the Barclay area of Bellingham. We're in the Dorothy Hagen building on the 4th floor. And so anybody who wants any more information, just give us a call or stop by, and happy to talk to you.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot. When you're out on that boat, who catches the biggest fish? You, your wife, or the kids?
Well, my kids, Elliot's probably not old enough yet. Fiona, actually the salmon seasons have been kind of poor the last couple of years, so we haven't really caught a lot of fish. So, but when we are catching fish, it's usually me. So.